How to move an arm from back to front in Alight Motion. I'll show you 4 ways to do this, then I'll tell you which one I think is the best. The concept. I'm starting with a non-animated character. The goal is to animate the arm so we can reach a frame where the arm can be switched naturally. The arm can be switched instantly, but doing that looks abrupt and cut off. To make the switch feel natural, we have to think of the arm as a 3-dimensional object. It can't pass through the body, so it needs to move around the body instead. So what do? First, move the arm from behind the body to beside it, then bring it in front of the body just like in real life. I'll animate this using rotation on the upper arm and lower arm and use location to connect the outlines. I'll also add a small overshoot and bounce back to smoothen the movement. The splitting method. To use the splitting method, go to the frame where the arm is beside the body and no longer overlapping it. Tap Split to split the layers. The second part of the layer will automatically move to the top. Fixing the splitting method to make it animatable. Now the arms are on separate layers, which is a problem. It's a problem because if I move one arm, they won't match anymore. Since I'm using a parenting setup, I can take the second lower arm and set the first lower arm as its parent, so the second arm follows the first. However, we'll run into another issue. The second arm now has 2 animations, one from the parent and the other from its own layer. To fix this, delete all rotation and location animations from the second lower arm, which is the child layer. Make sure you delete keyframes or set parents while you're on frame 0 or the default position, or it may have messed up positions afterwards. Now when you animate the first arm, the second arm will still move correctly. This method works, but it's annoying to manage multiple layers, and you also can see the first lower arm layer past the trim. So next, we have the opacity method. We're back to a single lower arm layer. Duplicate the lower arm layer and move it to the top. Then delete all keyframes from that layer. Take the copy lower arm and set the back lower arm, the original layer, as the parent of the copy. Now you can hide the front lower arm layer and forget about it and animate the back arm normally. When you need the arm to come to the front, unhide the front arm, go to Blending and Opacity, add an opacity keyframe, go 1 frame back and set the opacity to 0. When you need the arm to go from front to back, add a 100% opacity keyframe, move to the next frame, set the opacity to 0 again to hide it. This works, but there's an even better way. The Z-axis method. Once again, we're back to a single lower arm layer, and this time we'll keep it that way. Go to Move and Transform, tap on the Z value to switch to Z position, and lower the value to bring the arm to the front. However, this method becomes a problem if you already have location keyframes, so we need a middleman. The Null and Z-axis method. Add a null object, select the lower arm, tap on Parenting, and set the null layer as the parent. Now you'll notice that when the upper arm moves, the lower arm does not follow. To fix this, set the upper arm as the parent of the null layer. Now everything works properly. Basically, the upper arm controls the null controls the lower arm and its Z-axis movement. Then animate the Z-axis by decreasing the Z position value, and reset the Z value by setting it to 0 manually, otherwise the lower arm may go behind the upper arm. The lower arm is very happy having a manager. Use whichever method fits your workflow best. Good luck! I really like the opacity method, but the one I like even more is the z-axis method paired with the null layer. That one works so well.